Hello and welcome to OWTV. I'm joined by Backbone of Gen.G. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing good. Hope you are too.
Yeah, I'm very well. Let's get straight into the result against Twisted Minds. Firstly on Ilios, you didn't win, but it immediately felt like there was more life, more fight in the team. What changed?
I think this week we've given ourselves a pretty clear idea of how we want to play. It might, you could argue that to an extent it's made us weaker in certain areas, which maybe TM managed to punish yesterday, like in certain bans we're weak, but at least it feels like we have something solid now on the right ban situations for us to play. Also, I'm pretty sure this, unless I've not sinned from another game, I think we're the only team that has played maps that aren't Lijiang first. VP, I know at least before this week, VP Samoa pick against us was the only non-Lijiang so far. And with TM's Ilios, I think that might make it 2 out of 2 belong to games against us. So teams are clearly scared of us on Lijiang. What can I say?
We kind of saw coming in, we had the scrim bucks that in many ways was kind of seeing and believing that you were rising up in the power rankings. So we move on to Kings Row and you kind of do pretty well, it's fair to say. What can you tell us about the Zarya Reaper comp?
I think the Zarya Reaper comps, I actually think it's like underrated, and I'm surprised more teams aren't trying to play it. Although it does make sense when you look at the individual teams why they lean away from it. But I think it's quite a good middle ground comp where you can kind of play it into anything with minimal swaps. And it's also a really good comp for us because it lets me yap away and give us direction of how to play, which is probably where we're at our strongest because I like to talk. And it puts EXO on Sojourn, and he just gets to sit back a map a lot of the time and play Kovacs, which is basically our win condition a lot of the time. I mean, it's not really, but EXO's really fucking good at this game. So if we can just give him space to click and win fights for us, he will against anybody. It's just a really good comp for us in general, really.
Into Kings Row as well, Crispy actually kept the Wuyang.
Yeah.
Which is something we've not seen so much of until now. Equally with Astro, actually, they've also played less Wuyang. Is that a change up for you specifically, or a kind of resurgence of the Wuyang?
I mean, it's not as if Wuyang's ever not been picked here, right? It's just not been picked by us, really, because we didn't feel like it was our best chance in previous weeks and stuff. We thought that we would be better served off of playing like Lucio Curie stuff, which is why we were doing a lot of support protecting. It was never really a case of Crispy not being able to play Wuyang. Like, he's always been like good at it. He's been fine at it. Like, I don't think he's a weak link on Wuyang. That wasn't why we dodged it. It was more because of us as a team when we played those Wuyang comps before. It felt rough. And I don't know, like this week, like last week or so, we felt like even for the Anomaly game, like we'd been playing Wuyang, it just didn't really show up in that game because of the stuff that they were playing and the way the bans went. But it's something that's there for us now. We're actually able to play comps and involve it to a good enough level that we don't feel like we have to steer away from it.
After that, we engaged TennisTheory, Twisted clapback pretty hard, then versus Zarya ban, and they take Junkertown with relative ease. Did you put too many eggs in the Zarya basket?
I don't think so at all. I think it's fine to have a comp that's your strength and accept that it's going to get banned out, right? We had things that we thought, like we had ideas of how to play and what to try. Didn't work. I mean, our first Junkertown defense was just like kind of disaster after disaster, which it kind of does just happen when you're playing that mirror sometimes. Like if you get put behind, it's so easy to get snowballed, I feel, actually, especially when you're playing against a good team. So it's not the biggest deal. I honestly, coming out of that map, I was more disappointed in our second attack more than anything, because I feel like we kind of threw it away for nothing. And then, after that second attack, after our second attack, the second defense was always just going to be a nightmare, right? Like it was never really going to be winnable. But yeah, they're always going to ban Zarya. They're always going to ban Reaper. They know what we're playing. Like we knew. And at the end of the day, like, we won our map picks yesterday, they won theirs. Sometimes that's just how it goes, Like, you've got to break the serve, like you said, at some point. We weren't quite able to do it yesterday. Neither were they, to be fair. But yeah, I don't think Junkertown was like Zarya's gone, we can't play the game issue, I think it was just like a bad map from us.
And then on Esperanca, I think it's fair to say I've not seen anyone be as dominant against a top 3 EMEA team in a long time. Were you buoyed by kind of the less than ideal result on Junkertown to kind of go on and really take it to the map?
I don't know. Like the Zarya was gone. It was obviously our map pick, so we could protect Reaper. So I think we banned Tracer, and banning the Tracer on that map, we kind of knew that TM would end up wanting to play something brawly. And I know they just went to EWC and were one of the best one of the best EU teams on Brawl, but they're not that scary on Brawl right now, truthfully. Like the Sim Bastion comp from them is like nowhere near as scary as it is from Alcad. So it wasn't a lot of worry. The only real thing we had to figure out was like exactly what swaps we wanted to make, but it turned out we didn't need to make any swaps against them really mid-map to deal with the Sim Bastion. And I'm actually surprised they rolled out on it again, considering how poorly it went for them against Anomaly as well. Like Anomaly, they went on like an 80-meter deficit and then swapped and won. But yeah, couldn't do it against us because we protected the lead better. But I was more surprised by their comp choices that map than anything. Like even with Tracer gone, like I'm surprised they didn't try to play something different.
We go into Suravasa and we kind of know that the Reaper ban is coming.
Yeah.
And you kind of go through a lot of heroes, don't look super comfortable really on any of them. Actually, one character I expected to see that I didn't was Venture. Did you prep that at all?
It was an idea for sure. The thing is with map 5, like we've played a similar matchup all week against other teams. Like we played against VP a lot this week, and like they'll play basically the same comp but with a ball instead of a diva. And we have a very crystal clear idea of how to do that. But I think for us right now as a team, for some of our players as well, because a lot of the players on this team are young, right? They're not experienced. Like I mean, with Sky out of the starting lineup for now, I think I'm the oldest player that starts. I think the rest of them are all like 20. I think Exo's 18 or something. I don't know. He's like way too young. And I think it's just like one of those things where we didn't adapt to like because we knew this matchup was coming at some point today, whether it was map 5, map 1, map 2, whatever. But it was we didn't figure out how we wanted to play, and we just let them play how they wanted to play. And if you let a good team play how they want to play and you have no idea how to respond, you're always going to get like slapped around silly. So it was a really rough way to lose because we played pretty well across the series. Like even Junkertown to like get to OT and stuff was quite a big step up from us as a team, I think. I think in previous weeks we probably would have collapsed and just fallen over. But to go out like, with a whimper on map 5 felt a bit rough, but also it is what it is. This game doesn't matter, really. We're just looking forward to playoffs anyway. Like it would have been so nice to win. I'd have been all sunshine and rainbows, but if we're honest, the game doesn't actually matter to us as a team for our results at this point. So whilst it sucks, it's better to happen now than later.
Yeah, well, I will say actually, this game mathematically confirmed playoffs for you. So
yeah.
Not nothing.
I mean, there was a world where if we beat TM and then Peps don't win a game for the rest of the season, there was a world where we finish 5th. But I'm convinced 6th seed is better than 5th. So I'm actually okay with it.
So in the end, kind of not the result that's ideal, of course, but equally playoffs is on the horizon, and it's definitely a step up, I think, for you guys to go out in this way rather than, as you say, kind of with a whimper.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I'll say it. Probably easy clickbait for you. I think we're the 4th best team right now in EU. I think if we were to play Peps or Vision in an official now, I think we'd be the favorites for those. So it's quite a good spot to be leading in towards the end of the season. Confirmed playoffs. Ultimately, like for anything to matter, we have to finish top 3 anyway for Stockholm, right? So the difference between finishing 6th because we play a top 3 team early that we can't beat and finishing 4th because we play them later in the bracket doesn't really mean anything to me. Doesn't really mean anything to any of the other players. It's why I think 6th is actually better because it's a new patch. We'll be playing against like one of the top 3 teams instantly, and new patch, nothing for them to see of us with a previous official. Maybe it's easier to catch them off guard and get that win. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm actually like, I'm pretty happy with how things are right now.
Well, you nabbed my next question.
Oh.
Verbatim, hypothetically, if you played Vision or Peps next week, how would you see the match going?
Yeah, I think we'd win both. I think Peps would be 3-0, 3-1. Vision would be 3-1, 3-2. Obviously, you still could lose. Like, game's the game. Show up. If you show up bad on the day, you can always lose. Better team overall doesn't always win. It's always better team on the day. But I back us to be the better team overall. I do think we're 4th seed right now.
And do you think there's anything you could have done, kind of looking back, to accelerate this kind of comeuppance?
Nah, I don't. I think hindsight's a bitch, you know. I think what needed to happen happened. I think like certain individuals on our team have stepped up massively, and I think have really put the work in over the last 2 weeks. And I don't see how that would have happened if we didn't have to go through a pile of shit first. So I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't know how to get to this point sooner if I went back, unless I literally just, I guess, gave cheat codes on what to play, which would probably help, to be fair. But yeah, no, I think it's fine. It's a good time to peak. You know, rather peak in playoffs, but just before playoffs is also a good time to start peaking. Just gotta go over the line when we play the top 3 teams in playoffs.
Yeah, and anyone who's kind of been around the scene for a long time knows you like to use your brain and your mouth a lot whilst playing. I think there's a certain Australian we know who refers to you as the thinker.
Yeah.
And actually, even when we've run into each other in ranked, it's like you will literally turn away from kills to respond to calls. So is it almost been getting the rest of the team on the same wavelength?
I think I don't think it's fair to say like, oh, I am just smarter than my teammates or anything like that. You know, I don't think that's accurate at all. Like the thinker meme is funny and all, but yeah, I don't think it's fair to like for me to disrespect my teammates like that. I think because we're more sure on what we're playing, people are able to speak more. It is really the crux of it. Like when you know what you're doing, it's easier to know what you're meant to be saying and when. And in previous weeks, we've been a bit lost, which means that, you know, people will be more quiet, less likely to make their own plays and stuff. But especially when we're on this like Zarya Reaper comp, if there are no bans and we're just playing our comp, everyone knows what they should be doing and how they should be doing it for the most part. So it's a lot easier for people to speak up when it comes, right? So I don't think it's been like anything more than just trying to get an understanding of the comps up for all of us, right? Because even in previous weeks where I'm yapping my head off, it's not necessarily because I have a better understanding of it than everyone else. It's just because someone has to say something, and I volunteer. I love the sound of my own voice. I will talk. If no one knows what to say, I can start yapping to give us some sense of direction, and hopefully that's enough to win. But you know, it's a lot better like this when people actually know what they want to do, what the team wants to do, and can come around it. I think like EXO specifically, like on like this last week or so, has like really stepped up in being able to say what he wants, what he needs, when and where, and we're able to play around it. And he can just like I'm not kidding. Like that kid is so fucking cracked. It's not even funny. Like I've been blessed with good hit scans, aka Sparker. Sparker was always crazy, but like EXO, considering how young he is as well, like he's got so much room to grow as a player. This wasn't said, I think, publicly, but the Anomaly match where he got player of the match, he was playing from a random PC cafe in Madrid after taking like a 5-hour train. You know, he was just and he just clicked. He just clicked the entire game. You know, just doesn't miss. So. Yeah, I think it's more about understanding your role in the comp, and then people, like even the quietest players, like I think it's someone like Admiral who didn't speak much on London. When he knew what he was doing in the comp and he needed to speak, he would be able to speak up and like take over comms when needed. So I think that's been a key difference for us this week as well, actually.
And you looked really quite good on your comp, but maybe struggled a little bit more with when it was taken away with you on Junkertown on Suravasa. Is it kind of a concern maybe that your success relies too heavily on a comp that has 2 parts that are quite difficult to do without?
I I don't know. I've seen I've seen people saying this, as you are aware, that oh, we're just one tricks, and it's like most teams in EU are one tricks right now. They have one comp that they play more than any other, and obviously for us right now, we have a real issue of when parts of that are banned. We don't necessarily have a clear swap, but it's also like we didn't have a clear swap in yesterday's games because the first one was on Junkertown, which, to be fair, we played what we normally play. We normally do pretty well on it. We just didn't in game. And the second one was on Suravasa, where we're playing into a version of the comp that we haven't really gotten much practice against, and we kind of just froze. It's not anywhere near as big of a problem as I think it is. Like Ilios yesterday was close as well. We could really just win Ilios as well, and then suddenly this whole one trick narrative is gone. Like I think we underperformed on Ilios. Map 1 nerves. Don't really care. It happens. Better now than another time. But I don't know. I think most teams have one or two heroes where when you ban them, they look a lot weaker. I think for us right now, it's just about finding a decent amount of answers for when they're gone. Because certain maps and stuff, we have certain maps versus certain teams. We have our things. But TM obviously haven't been scrimming them. We don't have it for them. We couldn't figure it out in game, so we lose. It's just that simple, really.
And you have Qadsiah as your final match of the regular season, which I'm sure you're immensely grateful for. Couldn't be improved in any way, your scheduling. How do you rank them compared to TM, and can we maybe expect another 5-map banger?
I think Alcad are the best team in EU, and I think there's a tier break between them and everyone else from my perspective, at least. I don't know how their scrims against VP and TM go, but from watching their games against each other and other teams, and scrims versus them and other teams, I really do think Alcad is the best team in EU by far. Nevertheless, though, obviously we're gonna win. Duh. Our Alcad scrims historically have been quite fun because we get certain scrims where we just end up on a Bastion Sim Mirror for every map. Like on Rialto, we're just playing Bastion Sim Mirror, which is pretty funny. I don't think that will happen this week. I think they're too smart to just take Bastion Sim Mirror every map against us. Not that they should be scared of us, but we can win against them on that mirror, and they know we can because of scrims. So I think they're too smart. They're too flexible and able to play other stuff for them to do it, I suspect. But I think we can probably get a map or two. Why not? Why not? And also, it just doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, they have won the stage. There's nothing to play for. You're safe. They've won the stage.
Yeah, our seed is locked. It doesn't matter.
Let's go to 6 maps.
Yeah. Let's make some records. But win or lose, it actually doesn't make a difference. Winning, I'm sure will be a massive confidence booster for us going forward. But it's also if we're honest, if anyone on my team is gonna mental boom because we lose to Alcad, I'm gonna be annoyed because they are a really good team, and it's okay to lose against a really good team. It happens. They're probably not the team that we're looking to steal a spot off for top 3 in playoffs. I think TM are basically just a weaker Alcad across the board. I know their games are always close, but when we play versus TM compared to Alcad always seem to have more of an idea of what to do and play. And VP, you never know what the meta is going to roll into, because we have got a patch right after this game. So they could go from looking as scary as they are to suddenly not. I think that's unlikely. I think they're actually pretty meta proof, but we've got this pointless game, and then we've got a patch, and we've got playoffs. So just gotta see how the die gets cast, I guess.
Wonderful. Well, before I let you go, do you have any message to the fans?
No. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for everybody that supported after the rough start. Sorry we couldn't close it out what is now yesterday for me. It happens. I'm hoping that we can make a good run in playoffs. I don't see any reason why we can't right now, but maybe this next patch will come and shatter my dreams. But hopefully it won't. Pray for May. Pray for May buffs. May buffs. We'll get there.
Well, thanks again. It's been a real pleasure, and good luck for Qadsiah. We hope for a good game and for playoffs.
Thank you. Bye.